In the last video, I finally mounted the B18 in my Civic. In this video, I'll start connecting everything. So it's a day after work and I'm gonna give myself 30 minutes tonight in the garage. And what I wanna try and do is get the axles back in and maybe the shifter. If I can do that in 30 minutes, I'd be happy. And the axles are in the truck. Water for when I finally start it. And thankfully, the boots seem to be in good condition. Let's get these bad boys in the garage. The half shaft is hanging out over here. I might wipe that down a little bit. Another thing that doesn't have to be clean, especially for what I'm using it for, but I'm gonna wipe it down a little bit. You know what I mean? So the half shaft mounts right here. I left the bolts there so I wouldn't lose them, and it inserts right here. Let's see if I can get this thing back up there. So now that that is in place, let's move to the axles themselves. And I'm gonna throw a little bit of grease in here because these did sit out a little bit. See if I can snake this back in, or in, not back in. That gives me enough room. I've done this probably 5 or 6 times and I never know the best way to get this in. But this side rarely gives me trouble. If you guys got tips on how to get this in, let me know, because it's always trial and error. All right, let's see if I can muscle this up. Nope. And I am going to get something better than a castle nut for this side. I think I have one over there. But right now, this is what's going on. Not all the way tight, just snug. I'll tighten it all the way. As a matter of fact, I can tighten it all the way now, if I wanted to. This cannot be the right way to seat these. But again, it worked. And I have not had any issues with any CB axles from doing it that way. My 30 minutes is up. But I'm gonna do one more thing. There we go. All right, now I'm gonna go inside. See y'all when I come back. I don't have a lot of time tonight, but I am gonna try and button up the axles. So here we go. I didn't remember all the bolts being castle nuts on these things. I'll replace them eventually. I figured I might as well put weight on it so I can go ahead and tighten it down all the way. And I think it's seated. Let me get under there and check. That looks seated to me. Well, you can't see it that well, but I think it's all the way in. I started doing it that way because one time, my first time, installing some B18 axles, one popped out on me on a bridge and I had to get a tow truck, stop traffic. So now I make sure I get it fully seated and that ring gets all the way seated. I'm gonna go ahead and put this one on. Now I know the manual says use new ones, but I'm not. The torque these get set to, and if you stake it, it'll stay on, but in time I may do new ones. I wanna make sure everything works. And last night, pretty sure I didn't tighten these all the way down. So I'm gonna do it now. So I went to the truck and pulled out the Integra shifter for a B18. It is not in the best condition. It's a bit of rust, a bit of surface rust. But I'm so keen on getting it in there that I'm gonna throw it in and see if I can get everything to work. But first I have to take out the old shifter. That's what I need to take out there. And I think I'll be able to get to it without taking off the exhaust. Beautiful. That's one. And that's the other one. And I did upgrade this bushing. I think it's the same on the B series. So if it is, I'm gonna use it. Let's see, will it just, oh crap, I gotta drop the shifter out. So I do have to take the exhaust off these hangers. That should be relatively straightforward. Set that aside. What, is there something up top holding it? It should just come right out. Now it looks like I just have to remove the black boot and it will drop down. So that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, there's a boot. And then you release that boot and it drops straight down. I think these are the same. So I'm gonna use, I'll probably upgrade the whole thing at some point. But I'm going to use the better looking hardware for sure and go ahead and install the B18 one. And if you look, this is real sloppy. Let's see if I can take it off and install this one. This one's gonna be a pain to get off. There we go. Let's see, are they the same? Yeah, they're the same. The better looking stuff. Yeah, boy. And this will go on the new old one. All right, let's see about getting this thing back up through there. One bolt and the other bolt. I'm gonna push this seal up in there. Maybe it's better to get from the top. All right, now let's link up the front. So I took this protective sleeve off of the D series because I don't know where the one is for the B series. So I'm gonna put it on this one, hope it fits, and it looks like it will. And I think I got it on. So now I can slip this guy on and then put the pin in. So it looks like it's lined up. Let's see, is it all the way through? I'll call that through enough. Put the collar back on. Get on there. Cover it up. But anyway, good enough. Yeah, I gotta remember not to forget that. But now we can put this guy on. What in the world? How did I get this? As you can see, I somehow got it on the underside of that heat shield, and it needs to go the other way. Oh man. Since it's only 2 bolts, I'm gonna take them out instead of taking something else off. So now I can finally put it on. There we go. And the first thing I'm gonna do is sit in the driver's seat and go through the gears. All right. And of course, put this heat shield back on. All right, let's see. Does it feel like a... Oh boy. Feels like it's shifting right. And the last thing for tonight, I want to put the clutch back together. I think it should be a plug and play affair. This is a bad angle, I'm sorry, but I'm just putting the protective boot over the clutch slave cylinder and the clutch fork. All right, got that back in. And I really think I have that lined up. All right, let's see if that is where it should be. Yeah, everything is lined up the way it should. I don't know if this is supposed to be a crack, but I was able to put my hand in here and verify that everything is where it's supposed to be. Then there's this, which wasn't perfectly aligned, but I bent it a little. If I damage this line, I'm sorry, clutch, but it's easy enough to get to. And my wife is pulling up. I'm not supposed to be out here this late. She's just looking out for my sleep. But if I can get this mounted, dadgummit. Hey, man. I'm almost done for tonight. I got the clutch and the axles and the shifter all done. Love you too. The clutch feels weird. See, it's kind of sticky. I wonder, did I do something wrong? So I got some time tonight. I'd like to start it tonight, but we'll see. I'm gonna go ahead and do the heater core tubing. So this is the tubing that I cut off the donor car. I'm gonna take it off and use the existing tubing. And the other tube I need is still on the old guy. It's this one right here. All right, and it fits nicely. So should it route like this? I think it's more comfortable being routed like that. That side on. Get on there. So these go to the distributor. These come up here. So I'm gonna go ahead and reconnect these. And they only go back in one way, I think. Which way do you go, buddy? Naturally. He goes there and he goes there. Nice. This guy goes in here. And the B series harness also has a little thing that'll clip in right there. Nice. So unless something changes, I can now close this. And in my little kit, I got a new O-ring for the distributor. So I'm gonna throw that on. And I used some of the nasty oil that was already on the car to help the distributor O-ring go on a little easier. I usually put them on dry, but so I lined up these tongs or whatever you call them, and I think I'm in there. I made a mark as to where the distributor was positioned, and I was just making sure I lined them back up. Some little scratches. As I look at this, I see some things that I have done to all the B series I've had in the past, like replacing this with the nice metal aftermarket one, and a few other things, but in time. And these are the spark plug wires from the other V-swap I have, and they're in better condition than the ones that came on the auction Integra. So I'm gonna replace these with those and hopefully be better off, because these, where is it? These had a crack. Yeah, these have a crack right there, so those don't. I had not tightened down the valve cover yet, so I was torquing it to spec and I had some issues. I'm glossing over it because it was just a tedious job, but now I'm finally getting ready to torque down the valve cover. All right, good. That must have been really messed up because that is not a lot of torque at all. I've stayed much longer than I said I would tonight. Hope my wife doesn't get too mad. I said I was done, but I'm gonna do one more thing. I'm gonna put these on. Let's see, is that the right length? All right, I dealt with the routing a little bit, but that is not really important. I got this on, got those on, got this in. Might as well reconnect these while I'm here, and then I'm really gonna go inside. For real this time. All right, time to go to bed, for real. But wait, there's more. I will reconnect this. I really hope I didn't break something. All right, let's see what I can do about this clutch. See if I can crack this. All right, see if this is a good size tube. And it is. All right, pump it. Slowly or good? All right. All right, press it down. All right. Does it come back up? All right, pull it up then. So same drill, we're gonna do it like 4 or 5 times. All right, press it down. And as a child of 3 could plainly see, the existing throttle cable does not reach the throttle body. I mean, even if I adjusted this all the way out, I mean, we'd still be off a few inches. So from the donor Integra, I have this, which should reach. So I am gonna try and install it. So this is the gas pedal. And if you follow it up there, that is where the cable connects. So now we have to disconnect that and replace it with the one from the donor Integra. So it has this little clip that I'm gonna have to take off. I mean, you had a look at it, but it's gonna be hard to keep the camera up there. So yeah, I'm just gonna take the other one that looks just like this out. Surprisingly, it came out pretty easy. And if you follow the throttle cable to the firewall, you'll see that it's this one. This is for the cruise control. And this should just twist out. There we go. Come on, buddy. So now I'll just take it out. And there is a little gasket or seal that you want to keep up with. See, will it come out through here? Ah. What's crazy is I thought that the Integra one was longer, but it doesn't seem to be any longer. But there is a difference. It is where this is. So now I'm gonna go ahead and install it. Well, I tried to get the throttle cable sorted, and no matter what I did, I couldn't get either the original or the one from the donor car to work. So I'm gonna look at other things right now. I ordered a part that says it'll be here in the morning from Amazon. So I'll revisit it if I get everything else done tonight. So this is the cruise control. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this back on because I am glad that doing this swap is not gonna get rid of cruise control. And I will go ahead and connect all these back up. Never remember how these go. So this goes like this, maybe. This goes like this. And I guess this goes like that. And oh yeah, this goes like that and like that. Got a ground wire. Got another ground wire. This is the one that was on the donor car, and this is the one that was with our car. Only need one of them, so I'm going to use the original one. Clean that off a little bit. So I got the original fuel hose and the one that was already connected. So I'm just going to leave that connected and swap this out. They look to be identical. Two washers, one above and one below. Make sure they're both on there. And this battery tray has a lot of debris in it, so I'm going to vacuum it out before I put the battery back in. And I'm going to throw the battery on charge. Time has not been good to that battery tray, so maybe that's something else I will replace. Connect this to the starter, and there's extra brackets. I don't know where they go. Maybe they don't go anywhere. I think I know where they go. Never mind, I don't think they're gonna reach. But I do know where this goes. It's gonna live right here. Just a seemingly random hose needs to be reconnected. I don't even know what this does. I'm sure it's some sort of emissions hose. I just connected a hose that goes from here down to there. So my first gen CRV AC bracket showed up from eBay, and these are getting rare. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it on. So it's installed, and let's see if I can get the compressor back situated. It fits. I got butterfingers, but it fits. So I'm gonna tighten all these down and move on to something else. Another odd and end on this side is just mounting this back. And it's nice that both cars have the same little mount point. Oh, and that goes there. So it should have went under. I can fix that. And now this will plug up the way it was intended. That's enough for this video, but in the next video, I'll pick up with the headers, exhaust, and a few other things to button up, and then I will give it its first start. If you'd like to follow along, hit subscribe. If you would like to see the things I've already done to my Civic, check out my playlist. Thanks for watching. Take care.